Chapter 988 and 989. Doesn't it feel like we're going to lose? We might even win.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Podcast. It's me, BGE, and I'm joined by Give and Take.
Hey.
Well, let's just jump right into it, folks. You've been waiting, and that's literally the name of the chapter. I've kept you waiting, chapter 988, and such is life. Deal with it. Here it is. We've got a cover page of that stupid gang beige thing that seems to be going somewhere, I guess, finally.
Yeah,
Emotional conclusion.
In this chapter and the next one, it's still not like anything particular necessarily has happened. It could still be undercut by a joke. But it seems like he's swimming after them.
That would be funny.
They said, it doesn't look like our dad. By the way, we gotta go. They left him, so
they did.
He swims after them. And I don't know why in this one they're like, oh my god, because he's swimming after us, that must be, maybe he really could be our dad. I don't know what is being implied.
Because he cares so much. Maybe someone who was just running a scam or something wouldn't put himself in such danger, which he appears to be doing with cannonballs around him or something.
Yeah, they thought he was like a
presumably
creep.
Yeah. Anyway, it's fine. Still waiting for that moment where I am made to really care about any of these events. Hopefully it comes someday soon. All right. Actual chapter time. Battle is going on. What's happening, Gib?
All right. So last chapter, Kaido we went up to the moon. All the scabbards, all the minks were already there, and the full moon is here. So the minks are all gonna transform.
Epic.
But then Jack appears. He got the elevator, I assume.
Presumably, and it's the reunion of Jack and the Minks, who have history. He fucked up their elephant land, and then got fucked up himself. But now they get to face off for one panel, because it wasn't that important. Oh, and Raizo's here too. Raizo's all like, yo, it's me. Remember how you were looking for me? Lol, here I am, idiot. Good job. You failed. That's pretty satisfying, I guess.
Kinda. I mean, it's been a long time since that whole Jack thing, and we didn't actually see Jack destroy things. We just heard about it afterwards.
True. Always saw one or two little things. Really, it's just, hey, remember how the Minks and Jack had like their whole little thing on Zoe? Yes, referenced, excellent. And it's all done in like one page, fantastic. And we're moving on, immediately to the payoff. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did you see the top of that page where there's a smile zone, I forget the name, who's just got a giant monkey's head on his torso. That's all he is. Let me look at this. It's when Jack appears, and it's like...
Oh, yeah. His torso on the bottom left of the top left panel there of the first page. There, his whole body just is a monkey face. I had not noticed that, but it is incredible.
It's really
amazing.
Weird. What does he eat?
Which face eats? What benefits are provided by this monkey face torso? I noticed there's a guy on the right who just seems to be normally kind of like has a turtle that his torso kind of comes out the top of. That seems more, normal. That's like Hold'em with the lion face in his torso, I guess. That's fine. But that monkey head body, imagine eating a smile and this is what you get. Unfortunate. But maybe he's the most powerful of all. I don't know.
Yeah, he's secretly stronger than Kaido.
He's biding his time. Maybe. Excellent spot. Well memed, my lord. Anyway. Minks.
Minks are here. They start... Minks that I... presumably, we've been told their names, but I forgot, so they remind us.
I've seen some of them around, I think. Might have heard some names.
I've seen the Three Musketeers around. But I didn't know their names. So a bunch of them start... I think the idea is that the Minks are going to try and hold off Jack and that giant number in the back, and all of the other soldiers. And so that Kaido can be taken on by the Red Scabbards and some of the other Minks, I assume. That's how there's like two sets...
combination of that.
Two sets of, Kaido and Jack versus Minks and Red Scabbards. And we're gonna see what happens later.
In general,
I presume we won't like actually see exactly what happens up here.
We're not going to cut to this, and Kaido has been defeated by the Minx. I feel pretty confident that's unlikely to happen. So they get their little moment. I'm sure in the anime it'll look cool to see all the Zulong transformations going on. But Jack here himself says the Zulong form doesn't last long, so just hang tough, lads. Though, I mean, all of them going Super Saiyan at once. I mean, if there was like a Bleach-style Reiatsu tracker of power levels, it would be interesting to see how much more powerful they got in this forms. But it's not going to be particularly consequential for the narrative anyway.
I really hope that at least that number gets defeated, because they've only brought one of the numbers up here. And if all the Minx can't even defeat the number, then it's like, God, what a pathetic attempt to try and defeat Kaido.
But, as with everything of this style, like, the whole point of this battle is to defeat Kaido, who is the figurehead. He's the Genghis Khan. Like, if you defeat him, the whole operation will fall apart. And he's the strongest, but you got to put your forces to him. But just because it's a story, it is a shonen battle series, specifically. We know that this isn't going to go anywhere, and that Luffy will be the one to, or at least he has to have a rematch since his first fight with Kaido. So maybe they'll get a moment to shine, and there will be kind of like a Whitebeard style defeat where it's a death by 1,000 cuts, and everybody gets a cut in against Kaido. I don't know. There's room for creativity, but most likely it's going to be Luffy punches this man until he falls down, and that's going to be it. But we'll see. Maybe wearing down Kaido will be a real mechanic of this battle. We've yet to see.
What would happen, do you think, if Luffy went inside Kaido, like he got swallowed by him, and then just like in Skypiea with that what's it face, the giant snake,
the big snake,
and you just punched him from the inside?
Well, in series like this, people always. You see oftentimes giant snakes eating people and they die. But yeah, it's true. In One Piece, that already literally happened to Luffy once. And I think he eventually made his way back up and climbed out the mouth. I can't quite remember. He might have burst out the side. But it wasn't that big of a deal for the snake regardless. But it just seems like Kaido's got to be more vulnerable with his squishy organs around on his inside. You could literally find his heart, if you wanted to, probably, and stab it. But would you be able to locate it? He does have a very long body.
You could just do you could do that thing in that one filler arc where he became a super giant, gear third all over his body.
Yeah, that's true. Though, that was a little different because a giant went inside his body.
Oh no,
and
yeah,
then went their full size. Yeah, so Luffy he might try, but I think might have difficulty. But that seems like it'd be more of a vulnerability than anything else. So I wouldn't recommend Kaido try it, but. Maybe one of the numbers will try it, or one of these other people. Maybe that monkey face torso will try to eat Luffy, and Luffy will burst out of that face, and then have a monkey face on his monkey face, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, anyway, moving on. Battle continues. That's it. Cut back to Big Mom and King and Queen and Momo.
Yeah, so, I mean, in this first chapter, there's only a few things that happen. The next thing that happens is Momo is trying to be saved from being killed because he's still up on the thing.
With all the commotion, it's a good chance for Shinobu to attempt to steal Momo, but alas, spotted, tragically, by King.
She gets thrown. I love the panel where she gets thrown because you see her slap against the thing.
I love as he is king, literally says, "Be gone, thought," and throws her the fuck out of there. It was fantastic. My proud virgin incel king, just like me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's got the incel...
He can only jack off with his full BDSM suit on.
Yeah, that's the incel uniform.
Protection against the Moid Scourge suit, I assume.
But yeah, Shinobu's slapped, and then what's going on? His chains break.
He's broken
and then he's
free.
Flying.
What? Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's Sanji. Sanji has used his ability to jump, fly, and also be invisible.
I very much like that we get a little... This makes sense. I wanted Momo to be saved. They use a literal invisibility power. Seems like a pretty good power for something like this. Yeah. And so it is. Yeah, I like it. Well done, Oda. It was pretty cool. And a King versus Sanji in-air little battle there. Ooh, yeah. Now things are heating up. They're getting spicy. I very much like it. And King's giant black wings are absolutely glorious. So I'm just happy to see more of him in general.
Yeah, it's the cool. I mean, legs clash in the air. I feel like this is leading to some sort of a King versus Sanji. I don't know whether I said it on the podcast already. Maybe
perhaps
if I had, but like, I'm thinking King would be a bit too much for Sanji on his own, and it would have to be because he does have that sword. I think I must have said this on the podcast that it would be like a Sanji and Zoro fight. Yeah. But in the air, I'm not sure how that would happen. Maybe Sanji would have to hold Zoro as he jumps up.
It would probably be aerial battles. Has there ever really been an aerial battle in One Piece ever? I mean, even let's say King was fighting Zoro. King can't get to Zoro unless he dives down. So there will be opportunities to attack if he wants to.
Yeah.
Presumably. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like due to the fact that Sanji is like the only Straw Hat that can like fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that there's...
Well, Luffy can in Gear 4th, but it's not going to be Luffy, of course.
Well, I mean, he could contribute, but yeah, Luffy has different fish to fry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sanji, it seems like the most like to like make King's like abilities in the air like diminished. Sanji would need to be up there to like bat him back down or something.
Yeah, I suppose. I wouldn't be too surprised. Although we kind of get, like, right now, I kind of was thinking, are people pairing off? We get a little bit of a reset, and the characters repositioned at the end of these two chapters. So let's touch back on that when we get to the end of there. But, perhaps some obvious matchups could happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Sanji throws Momo. Momo's fine with Shinobu. But then King does a very scary pterodactyl attack against Sanji. And that doesn't look good. Gonna smash him into a thing.
Sonic speed, beak, like pierce straight through him.
Looks like he'll get pierced. Yep.
And that's not good. Man, it sucks.
It looked like a pretty powerful attack. Looked like he might die, maybe, possibly, unlikely, but you never know. We will see. And then,
yeah, this is
whatever. Luffy goes off.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this retarded panels of Yamato, just being like, Momo's okay because he's my son. And of course, yes. Luffy's like, shut the fuck up and leave, you foolish fool.
Oh, which translation are you reading?
Oh God, I'm on w12.1-peaceonline.com. That's the website I'm on.
God, I don't
know
love
any more
that website.
Than that. It's my favorite one. What are you reading? Does yours say something different?
Mine says
specifics might change.
It's Manganello, but it's Scantred. It's everything's like fucking free for all nowadays. But
we're in the dark ages now. We've been scattered to the winds. Yeah. She's saying, or he's saying, God damn it, I don't know what to do. All right, I'm legitimately not sure what's appropriate.
Because, like...
to refer.
It's funny, because, like, in the next chapter, Luffy refers to Yamato as a he. Like, Shinobu, you can trust him. He's on our side. And I'm like... So, all right. Luffy's, like, buying into the Odin thing for now.
Okay.
And I guess I should as well. But it feels like I'm playing along with a joke. I don't fucking know.
See, that's the thing. This is not to be taken seriously. No one's feelings are at stake. This isn't like a legitimate, like, dysphoria. This person wants to be Odin. They are not literally Odin. Why are we worried about it that much? I don't know. That's how I feel. It feels exactly like you said. We're in the middle of a joke.
Yeah, it's weird. But anyway.
Okiku is right there, and Okiku is as feminine as they come. That's cool. But this just feels like a different situation. That's all.
Yeah, definitely. But yes, is it really okay if, like, Luffy's saying, Yamato, you're in charge of Momo, take care of him.
Right.
And she's saying, oh, really? And he's like, what do you mean, really? And she's like, oh, yes, of course, because he's my son. Like, I think she was, like, dropping the act for a second, like, huh?
Yeah,
You're trusting,
that's the thing.
You're trusting Momo to, like, the daughter of Kaido? That's a bit weird. Like I think what it's supposed to be doing is just to show that Yamato is a little surprised at Luffy's trusting of her so quickly, and it's like
I agree.
It's like a nice character trait that he's showing, and she's like, oh, I'd never known people to be nice. I've lived on
which is probably true
on this shit island with this shit pirate crew this whole time.
Well, that's classic Luffy. Always nicer and more trusting than people expect. So, can be for ill, but that's the power of friendship that is so well documented among these boys.
Yeah. And
Speaking of friendship, here comes Big Mom and her best friend Prometheus, and he's looking excellent. I love his face.
That is a devilish grin.
Truly devilish, yeah. no doubt.
Oh, that should be an emote in the pod Discord. That looks...
You're right. That is a good one. We can split into two pieces.
Yes. So
I'm Big Mom. Make a note of that.
Big Mom flies in, says that Luffy continues to ruin the festivals, the festivities, and the food, and is like, yeah, that's probably the 90% of the reason why she's mad right now. Is that he's she was trying to have a banquet, and once again, this little monkey fuck is right here, trying to ruin everything.
Oh yeah. Agreed. So he's just a real food cockblock, and she's not going to take it anymore. And she does one of her classic Big Mom slashes, which do look very cool, and I feel like have some sort of narrative weight to them, that they're like giant type attacks.
Yes.
And I look forward to Elbaf when we get a payoff.
Dory and Broggy with their shooting a hole through a fish.
It looks exactly like that move they did. Yeah.
She learned a few things.
Indeed. That's where she grew up.
And then we get a bit more of the mini arc of Zeus and Nami, where Nami steals Zeus yet again, and he's a little nervous about this.
A little bit
nervous. It's funny. I really like that he prefers Nami, but he just can't betray Big Mom. I feel like the only way this ends is with Zeus cutting ties somehow. But
the only thing I don't like about I do like it. It's kind of funny. It's just that the joke is exactly the same as it's always been, and I can see where it's going. He cannot disobey Nami. So, why are we even pretending? This could go any other way. Unless they somehow escape. But there's a battle going on right now. I guess they kind of have to do it.
I think in the coming battle, right, Big Mom, by the way, Big Mom gets fucking decked by Frankie and Brooke on the motorbike.
And Brooke, yeah. Brooke does his classic cut Zeus in half again move.
Yes, it is so cool. Very based panel.
Old man and actually Grandpa and Dad come in and do absolute thought be gone to Big Mom, and it's absolutely fantastic. Way to go, guys.
Yeah,
By the way, I saw someone in the comments or in a potty Discord and Nate said that the fucking motorcycle or the transforming things don't do anything narratively important. Disproven. I don't know if this really counts, guys. It's a cool moment, I agree, but we'll see.
Well,
we'll see if more comes
quote
of it.
narrative. What is narrative importance really?
I guess that's an open question.
It
looked cool.
They did not need to enter in this way, but I think the theme right now is what Frankie does in the next chapter is he stands up to Big Mom as a Yonko, and he's
great.
like, I don't give a shit about how strong you are. My captain is better than you, and it's like this is like that. This is complete disrespect to the old guard.
Well, it's not just that. It's also Brooke and Frankie's deeply rooted misogyny. Because as we saw in Dressrosa, Frankie will just rape a bitch and not give a shit. And it's absolutely fantastic. So really, he just looks at Big Meme and he says, I don't see a penis. So what am I supposed to be scared by? Boom, eat my motorcycle. I think that's the full thought process. And it's absolutely based. Keep it going, Frank.
Emphasis on thought process.
Oh, shit. Indeed. Not that Big Mom is much in the thinking, regardless.
Anyway.
And of course, in here, Nami does do her, I hate you, you and I are over. Is this it? Is this the final split between Zeus and Nami? Will they stop teasing us?
Right.
No way.
Here's what I think is going to happen. In the intervening chapters, Big Mom is on the ground, Kaido is up in the sky, and Luffy is going up there. So it's going to be probably Luffy and Zoro fighting to get past Queen and King as the Straw Hats fight Big Mom, Queen, and King together. And as a team. And Nami, obviously, is going to be part of the Big Mom fight because of Zeus. And I'm predicting an epic moment where Zeus is, like, I don't know, given the confidence to, like, rebel against Big Mom, and then he zaps her. It's like, no, I like Nami more. And then there's, like, a big damage thing that Nami is, like, indirectly or, directly responsible for in the efforts to defeat Big Mom. I think that would be a cool bit. Because, like, otherwise this is never going to go anywhere, and it's just going to be a joke forever.
Oda, you just got to be a little careful. Guys like me get annoyed when the technical stuff doesn't get respected. It seems like Zeus, like, depending on the specific way Big Mom's doing it, he, like, literally can't disobey. But as long as he just leaves it a little bit open, maybe, like, Big Mom is like, oh, I'm sure Zeus will do what I said, so we'll just ask him to do it. As long as there's a little bit of, like, open-endedness there, then I'll be fine with it. It's all about the execution.
Yeah.
By the way, I love that panel of Zeus being, like, sucked over to Big Meme and going like, oh, you know the one on the top right there,
yeah,
second one down,
like the screen.
Incredible.
Yeah, I do wonder about it because that's the sort of, like, mechanical thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
How did she grab him? Did she use a force power? Is she close enough to control him? How exactly does this work? Does she have to touch him, or does she have to be close? How would Zeus rebel?
Right. It's just that I don't want to be a stickler. It's okay. I understand that rules are flexible, and you can do things out. Just don't do things that are like. It's been cemented now that the homies, especially these three, they do have their own independent will, but it seems like Big Mom can just force them to do stuff when she wants to. So just don't ignore that, Oda. That's all I'm saying. Or else I will say, this is stupid, Oda. You said that it didn't work this way, so explain yourself.
I think
there's a million ways to go.
A way it could work, right, is if, let's say, Big Mom is distracted by something, and then this is the time to strike, like lightning strike, literally. And she turns around, and before she can do any of the controlling, Zeus says, "Fuck you, mama," and he blows her up.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Like, as long as it's quickly enough before she could, like, if they have, like, a protracted, like, conversation about who's gonna control Zeus, then there's no way, I don't think, that you could, like, argue that she can't control him in that moment. But if it's a surprise, then it would be fine.
Agreed. Something like that. But I guess we'll see. But anyway, we might as well just jump straight over to our next chapter, chapter 989, Somehow I Don't Feel Like We're Losing. Okay, cover arc for this one. We're up to volume 33. It's been like more than half a year, this shit.
Fuck.
Okay, in his quest to have his daughters recognize him, Pound D Pussy does have a photograph of Big Mom booting him out of the bedroom, or of her life, presumably, as he's, I guess, with his Polaroid camera, snapping a picture of his two daughters in the background.
I just want to see my daughters for the first time. Can I please come in to see them? No!
And I think that's Zeus's face in the background. Does that look like Zeus to you?
That's a little Zeus. He's saying, right. Hello. I really like how Big Mom looks here. This is a real MILF moment.
That's classic MILF, peak of her fertility, Big Mom. Fantastic. Yeah, I would like to see how he looked when he was young, too, but that's okay. Maybe in another picture.
And yeah, there they are.
So will this be enough to convince them? Probably.
I mean, it's funny. If you look at how, like, far away that locket is, and then how small in the picture. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a joke that this is the proof, and it's right in the back. How are they going to fucking read it?
There's three things. There's the tiny picture, a giant zoom in of the picture, and a giant zoom in of a small piece of the picture. So that is kind of hilarious. Good job, Oda. I assume that, like, next chapter or whatever, this will all be wrapped up in a big bow. Just please move it along, Oda. I get the joke. See, this panel's good. I feel like this is the payoff to the whole joke. I literally like this, and I can almost say that those chapters have been worth it to get to this. Just wrap it up in like I'll give you 3 chapters, and let's get on to the next thing, please.
It's like, what was this even about to begin with? They found Lola and
Pound
Chiffon,
shouldn't have been alive in the first place.
And then I think the Pound edition was like, I don't know, like what like in the future, like there's gonna be like, I don't know, we see Beige and there's Lola and Chiffon and Pound.
He'll be there too.
He'll
probably.
be in the background and be like, oh, cool.
Look, that's fine.
That's
I don't mind that these do totally unrelated to the main plot arcs, but maybe little unresolved, little personal arcs or something. That's all well and good, and I like that stuff. But the story itself has to be entertaining, and this one's dragging on and is not particularly that way.
All right, well, on to the thing.
Indeed, let's go. 989, what's happening?
So, Big Mom has been hit by the car. She's out for the count, or at least a few seconds. I forget the name of the hat. Was he trying?
That's Napoleon.
Napoleon
the hat.
Yes.
Yep.
He's jumping around.
Very concerned.
We see Nami hugging Frankie, and he's looking all stoic. Like,
guys,
yes. I think this is
Luna Shippers. Luna Shippers, your time is over. Frankie, Nami, confirmed. Just like I've been cucked with Jinbei Robin. It's just a reality.
These girls, they're just like big guys. That's just how it is. She says
big
bro with a heart, like what else are you supposed to interpret from that?
She does, and that is adorable. I do. It's nice to see Frankie is just. I love how stoic Frankie is after this. He does not care.
Does not even slightly care that Nami is safe and happy about it. But it's
fantastic.
He's got to play. He's got to be the most badass guy, and he always is.
He always is.
I'm so glad here that Frankie is cooler than Jinbei in every panel.
I agree. And I think in the background, I can see Carrot, I believe, literally joining the Straw Hats right now. Okay, anyway, moving on from that, we've got Luffy jumping around.
Yeah, if you zoom in on that one pixel, it's like saying
just like Capone did, or
11.
like Pound. Yeah, there he is. This chapter has a secret chapter title, Chapter 11. The 11th. Yeah, there it is. It's actually Chapter 11 in One Piece. Anyway, Luffy's running stuff, blah, 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 running away. And then in comes our boy-girl Odin, a.k.a. fucking Yamato. Hey, Momonosuke, I am Odin, your dad who died. I'll protect you.
I love her face here. It's adorable.
She's embarrassed to be saying these words. See, that's funny. This is a good-natured joke. It's funny. Let's all laugh and not take it too seriously as we see them then running away from
and Shinobu are like,
funny.
What the fuck are you saying?
I mean, it's kind of fucked up to say that to, he saw his dad get murdered. Oh, wait, no, okay, he didn't actually see it, but his dad did get murdered and Shinobu saw it. That's a little fucked up, but
I am Odin,
that's
I'll
okay.
protect. It is, why is she so, I don't know, doesn't matter.
I'm sure we will get a flashback with Yamato, probably wrapped up with a big meme flash, or a Kaido.
Yeah,
flashback,
Kaido
and we'll learn about
would be great to learn about everything that we have no idea about him. He's just
he needs
right now.
One. He's very uncharacterized right
now. He's a bit of a blank canvas. He's just a strong man right now.
He really, by this point, man, Big Mom had way more character by this point in her arc than. I mean, she had like mechanics that's like the whole idea of the crazy food thing where she'll go crazy and even attack like her own citizens or even family sometimes. I don't know, like things like that were set up. Like Kaido doesn't have anything like that. He just like is a drunk. Like, is his suicidalness going to come up? If so, great. I suspect it won't be relevant at all and won't even be mentioned.
I think it might be out of line because it's the sort of thing that was like maybe brought up when he was designed, and then Oda was like, I don't know if I really want suicide to be a theme of Wano. So it's just like, I mean, like some reason why he wants to kill himself, and maybe he's just like,
if it was me,
I just wanted to see if I could do it.
I know this is Saturday night quarterbacking or whatever, but like if it was me, like in an ideal scenario, you'd want like the hook of Kaido's character as was introduced, which was like the suicidality. I'd have made that like an actual like cornerstone of the arc. And you know what? I mean, it's possible Oda still will. I still think that like maybe part of, or I would have worked it in like Kaido loves to fight because he doesn't feel challenged. But like, oh god, now I have to think back to the fact that, remember how Kaido says nothing could ever hurt him except Odin, who somehow was able to hurt him, and now the Red Scabbards, who also were able to hurt him, but Kaido himself was never able to. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, Oda. What are you trying to say?
Oh, dude, do you think Yamato is trying to get the will of Odin so she can kill her dad?
Ooh, that would be interesting. if they do something interesting with that, that could be really cool. Will they do that? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not even saying, like, definitely not, but...
I feel like with all of the many people who want to get a stab at Kaido, you know, obvious Luffy and maybe Zoro, Yamato has to be one of the people to do something. And I feel like that could be an angle for her. I agree. The whole Odin thing.
I am so terrified that this arc will end without Kaido getting any cool characterization hook. But I do trust Oda, and even though it's late in the game, I think that it will come. In a flashback or... Big Mom's big moment was when we got her flashback and we learned about her history in the middle of the wedding party, which is that's the equivalent of what's happening now to her when she was a kid and she ate all her friends. That was, like, amazing. So hopefully something like that will come.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway. So Luffy's trying to run, and yeah,
Luffy's going up. Big Mom is about to go on a rampage. We see Hyogoro the Flower down here talking about, like, the sheer numbers of all of these beast pirates. There's too many, and they're all small fry. They suck. It's a battle of attrition, and they're going to lose due to sheer quantity, not quality. So he's talking about going after the Flying Six. On my translation, I don't know about yours, he calls them those dinosaurs. So I think that maybe...
It does not say that.
Okay.
For me.
It might be confirmation, if my translation is correct, that they are all dinosaurs, and that's why they're in the running to be another, like, runner-up to Kui.
I'm highly suspicious of that. And my translation just says the Toby Ropo, a.k.a. the Flying Six. I would assume that's not proof of anything, but who knows? Maybe there's an... I don't know.
But he says, those dinosaurs that Denjiro called the Flying Six, let's take their heads. Even if we fail, we can slow them down. So I guess during all of this, they were given some indication that the people who are not the main characters, who are not the big hitters, have something to do, which is... It's alright. I guess it's better than just like some vague, constant battle going on in the middle of the room.
Let's see what happens with that. I mean, if what that translates to is cool one-on-one fights with characters with more interesting powers, I am all for it. Let's see some of that. It's so much better than generic mashing of endless faces against each other in the middle of a room that really the writer can just say whatever he wants to happen out of that. So, yeah. But anyway, far more interesting than that, we've got Big Mom saying to Brook, long time no see, Soul King. Your crew is some rare boys. So, boom, Big Mom remembers Brook, likes him, respects him, and Brook's like, hey, baby, what's going on? Let me see that fat puss one more time. Fantastic. Not direct quote, but it's the implication.
That's what my translation says anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And here's Frankie, just like, yo, what's up? I'm a bad motherfucker. My name's Frankie. I'm a cyborg. I'm radical. And I believe this is Big Mom saying, you're amazingly strong to Frankie. Or am I wrong? Or is that Frankie saying it to her? It's a little confusing with the speech bubbles.
On the left, what Frankie's saying on mine is like, are you interested in my steel body, old hag? You can call me Frankie. I'm a cyborg. I won't be so easy to capture. It won't be so easy to capture me. I'm strong.
Oh, okay.
So
I see.
I'm based is basically what he was saying. And then Nami's like, Frankie, you can't really do that. She's so strong. You can't say that to Big Mom. And he's like, I don't know.
But she's just a fucking moid, Nami. Just a fucking moid. It's stupid. I'm just gonna shoot her with my fucking laser beam. Luffy's my captain, the Pirate King. But here I go, radical beam. Yeah. Or is it? Is it?
Well, it is radical because, we'll see in a minute. But before he can charge and fire his radical beam, the numbers come in. At least 3 of them.
Yep.
And
here they are.
we see that they are not just generic large humanoids. They are huge humanoids of like the size of auras from Thriller Bark.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
That's what they say down there. It reminds me of Thriller Bark. They're as big as auras. What are those things?
So and Big Mom clarifies. Oh yeah, go on.
Yes. Failed experiments of trying to recreate the ancient giant race, which is the race that Auras was part of. If I remember correctly.
Okay, and I want to ask your translation here. So, okay, it wasn't really touched on in Thriller Bark, but there's there's some interesting stuff going on here about larger implications of the world and whatnot. Mine says, so that's them, the, quote, failed ancient giants that Kaido got from Punk Hazard. Does yours say, does yours have any further information than that? Did I miss any details?
Mine says, is it them? I heard these are the failures from experiments trying to recreate the ancient giant race. So, Kaido brought these things from Punk Hazard. Very good. So, Punk Hazard obviously is like a science lab for Kaido.
Interesting.
And kind of Big Mom as well because of Caesar Clown.
So the implication of yours...
Yeah. The implication, I guess, is that these were made on Punk Hazard in a similar way to, like, maybe even the giant children? Probably different.
Well, yeah, maybe somewhat similar. But, like, they're clearly of the same race as Ors. Okay, Nami here. Nami is the one who says they're from the same race as Ors. There's no way she could definitively know that, and no one else here clarifies, but they sure do look like it. They have the same big horns on top and, like, fangs in their mouth, so it sure looks pretty similar.
Yeah, I think in mine she just says they're as big as Ors, so...
Yeah, and, it's been pointed out that Kaido himself looks very similar to Ors, and has very similar, like, horns, and he doesn't have, like, the fangs in the same way, but, I mean, his horns certainly stand out. And there's the fact that Kaido is called the strongest creature, maybe because he's a dragon, who knows what's up with that, or the other theory is that maybe he's of the same race as Ors. This has been tossed around for a long time.
Yeah, the idea of he's like some sort of a demon, but yeah, Ors... I guess that would make him like a fucking pygmy ancient giant. Like
possibly,
a teeny tiny ancient giant.
But consider this. So Ors was a revived zombie frozen on, like, Thriller Bark or something that Moria had acquired the corpse of and then brought back to life. But, famously, Ace was friends, and somebody who fought in the war who was alive was Ors Jr., a living today giant, and they said, like, a descendant of Ors. That is Ors Jr. And he was alive, and he was, doing stuff. So, are we to conclude, based on the kind of confusing language here, that these things were not originally like this? They were maybe human and were turned into both giants and monstrous, or were they already demon-iness stuff, and then they were made gigantified by the same kind of experiments that were being done on the children, but something went wrong? I really am not sure.
I think the fact that they're failed experiments is more similar to the smiles. Like you can have a weird power. You just look a bit fucked up if you're not like a perfect smile. Actually, all the smiles are a bit weird, but like, I think it's failed in that it's not a perfect recreation of whatever the ancient giant race was supposed to be. I think that Ors Jr. would have been one of them. Maybe he was the last one. I can't remember what they were talking about with him.
I don't know. But, I don't remember that particular detail.
But like,
I don't know.
We can
I think
see
it's a little bit open.
We could see that like when they're not like this, they're just really tall people, humans. So maybe they started out as giants and then they got turned into these. I don't think they were monstrous before. Is the only point. That's the only thing I can think.
So, I mean, the procedure would have been to turn them into the demon-esqueness. Maybe they were already giants. Look, I don't know. I think it's kind of open. This is unclear. We don't know exactly what part of it was the experiment. There are interesting implications there. If we got further clarification, we could then maybe make some conclusions about Kaido or Ors or ancient races or something. Right now, it's kind of unclear. I think it's pretty much all the information we got on these things.
Yeah. But in the hand of one of those guys is the Brachio tank from before. That's where Chopper and Usopp were like being chased by something, and we saw the shadows. So this is where they're ending up.
Yep,
and then
like it.
Frankie uses his radical beam, shoots one of them in the face.
Ching.
And I just want to take a moment. I also want to take a moment to like, if these are actually the same like size as Ors, since Thriller Bark, Frankie has powered up to the point where he can use one of his laser beams to defeat one of them in like one shot. Because I think
I don't actually
what
think
happens,
they're the size of auras.
Yeah, they don't quite look like in that one shot where he's like actually shooting the beam. He looks quite big compared to them. Like they don't look quite that big.
They might be normal giant sized, but like the auras giant was like a one more
like
dimension up.
10 times as tall as a real giant, a normal giant.
Yeah, something like that.
Is auras. It's like, there's no way. How do they fit in there? How do they 3 of them?
I don't know. In any case, so he blasted this guy. Looks like he's down. That's a big oof. And Big Mom comes up behind Frankie and says, well, you turned your attention away from me. I'm going to shank you now, sir. And Frankie goes, huh? But then, just in time, here comes Boss Jinbei in to grab her arm, give her a flip, and then in tandem with his new waifu, Nico Robin, does a big old whirling tides throw.
Yes.
And rolls her on down.
Dude, I clapped when I saw it. When I saw Robin use the famous rolling fat person down off a cliff using her hands technique.
I literally loved it because Robin got to do something, and this was a combat technique she used before, and the guys that she fought in Skypiea looked like very similar in build to Big Mom, actually, so it was like a kind of an exact, perfect match. Robin got to do something! She got to do something! Holy shit! Pretty cool. And, you know, I don't find it unbelievable that Frankie could throw Big Mom if she catches her unawares. That seems believable to me. He's a big, strong guy. She doesn't weigh infinite pounds. And Robin, once she's off her game, could definitely roll her ass down. So, cool. Believable. They didn't defeat Big Mom. They just rolled her away. She'll be back. And what a great time. Everybody looks very happy.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I hope if they fight Big Mom as a team, that they do the whole like teaming up power thing. Because the one thing that is like, you know, we've been talking about a lot during Wano is the amount of people that are going to be here, the amount of one-on-one fights that cannot possibly fit in the time scale of the arc.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And a great like alternative to a one-on-one fight for everybody is teaming up in cool ways. So I like this. I hope we see more of it.
I very much agree. Keep it. This is good stuff. Oda, I understand. You're a busy man. You got a billion fucking characters involved here. Just give everybody a little moment to shine. If you can, give them each a little fight. Give them like a couple of pages. But even this is good. I'm happy with this. I understand. Robin is a utility character. She's not a real knuckle brawler. So, okay, that's fine. Okay, anyway, so everyone gets to go, wow, it's Captain Jinbei, the Fishman Pirates, a former Shichibukai. So cool. I hear you're really good at turning a steering wheel. You're like the best at that. So everyone's very impressed.
Nobody says, oh my god, it's Nico Robin, the devil child. Nobody remembers
the demon
that.
child, yeah. Come on, guys. I guess he is very large, so he does stand out in a crowd, I suppose. Fair enough. Casual misogyny, I understand. Not listening to a woman in the workplace. Fair enough. But here goes Frankie, calling General Chopper. Wake up, please. Get a hold of yourself, Usopp and Chopper. Get out of here, because it's time to fuse. Won't that be
time
fun?
for docking?
It is time for docking. Very exciting.
They love it. Usopp instantly revived.
That's what does it. Classic Usopp resilience when something cool and or hype is about to happen. But okay, here we go. Now we're cutting to Queen. Queen's just kind of chilling, looking over at stuff, and happens to see Luffy making his way on up to go fight Kaido on the roof. Zoro catch him just in time. They're about to go blast off together. They do the rocket. They execute it together with Zoro grabbing his feet. And then, well, bam! Big, cock, thick, muscly, brachio face stretches on up and bites the shit out of them out of the air. Way to go, Queen. Cucked him again.
That's
fantastic.
Right. I like this because it is probably one of the only times his long neck is going to have use in its longness.
I know, right? I love that. It was like a real detail of this dinosaur made a difference in the narrative. Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. Again, Queen has gotten all of the cool moments. That giant fucking headbutt against Big Mom, that was like the coolest moment of all of Wano. And this little moment as a cool dinosaur guy. I mean, there's King as a pterodactyl. King can already fly. He doesn't even need to be a pterodactyl. I guess he just likes to because it looks cool, which it does.
It's like awesome. Speed boost, I guess.
Sure. And he's still on fire. I love that about him. So I want to know more about why you're on fire all the time, King. But I'm sure we'll learn. But then Queen, just cucks him, tosses him down. And they do make a note that the sky is very heavily guarded. So, like, we see King and, like, a bunch of other flying smiles and maybe Delver users, who knows, are up in the sky, all cock-blocking him. So getting up to Kaido is going to be a little bit harder than you might think, considering the high level of the average crew member of Kaido's squad. So
yeah,
it's going to be a challenge.
This is sort of like, it's so cool. Like, I do like the splitting up and doing that stuff, but what's happening now is just, I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're surrounded on all sides, and there's nothing to do but fight. And it's like, yeah, but we're cool though. We're the Straw Hats, because we see
it is pretty cool.
We see just down here. Yeah. Sanji's coming up. Sanji's all right.
Turns out he's fine. That attack didn't make a difference, but he does say the durability of this suit pisses him off because it does give him just like a defense boost, clearly. So they note it. They're like, this is why Sanji wasn't hurt. Okay, that's fine.
So the docking is happening, and everybody falls down. Luffy and Zoro fall down. They're all together, and we get the big panel of the Straw Hats, all of them, every single one.
All of them, yep. All 10. Even Jinbei.
Yep, there he is.
Sigh.
The big two, Luffy and Jinbei. There's no other numbers.
It's true. They're just remarking that it's strong. The whole crew's back together. But clearly, Luffy's goal here is to leave, go fight Kaido, and leave these guys to handle Queen, King, the numbers, the rest of the smiles everywhere. Big meme if and when she comes back. So we'll see where that goes and what happens there. But I feel pretty confident that our crew is going to do just fine.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of the chapter.
Yeah, the crew is going to be great. It's going to be fun. But I am wondering, we didn't see any of the Flying Six this chapter. Where are they and what are they going to do? They're definitely going to show up.
The one guy who's got tied up, he'll be back. We saw how fast they recover from Luffy's 1-2 punches against Page One and cute girl whose name I forget, Ulti. Yeah, so they'll be back. I hope we get more like real fights with them, and that's like Oda. You set up those characters for a purpose so you can get cool fights with them, or at least cool moments. Oda, I'll let you off the hook right now. I will be satisfied because I know you're a busy man. If you just give us a real fight for Queen, you know what? Queen's already had some moments. Queen doesn't even need a fight. I'll be satisfied with a real fight for King and a real fight against Kaido. And then also stipulation, Zoro has to have a real sword fight. If that's against King, that's fine. But it has to be against someone. So those three things, you have to be ticked off. You have to tick off the list. And for the rest, we can get little highlight moments, and I'll be satisfied. I think that's a pretty low asking price, frankly. So just do that, and I'll be satisfied. Yeah,
I definitely feel, at the moment, right, there's no way that they can get up to Kaido with King still there. So King has to be defeated.
They gotta get around that.
Looks Queen, like I feel like, is a similar situation. Like, he's gonna be able to stop people just jumping up. So I feel like those two have to be defeated. We can't forget that Prospero and Marco are somewhere near the entrance, so they could jump in at any moment and do. It could be like a fucking Marco King fight. That wouldn't be that bad.
God. It would be that bad because I know that fight won't get the focus that I want. That will be we cut to them. They're still in a stalemate. It'll be the equivalent of, remember when Mihawk and Vista had their battle during the war? We would just cut back to them every once in a while and see that they're still fighting. Nothing has changed.
Yeah,
they're still going back and forth.
They would
it's
take
just like
the attention away from Luffy, and then Luffy can do his thing.
That's true. I don't even really hate that it takes away attention. A little focus is nice. It's just that nothing will be gained from that kind of fight. Now, if Oda wanted to give Marco a real fight against King, I'd be fine with that. But he's not going to do that. That's not going to happen. Other things will happen. I just want Luffy and Zoro to have a real fight, and I'll be satisfied. And because King's got like a mysterious backstory, King really hasn't had any moment to shine particularly much yet. Queen's had a couple. I'd put Queen off the list, but Queen should get a cool fight too. Jack, no. Jack's been cucked enough. We don't need to worry about Jack. But like Queen should get like, I want a moment where Queen actualizes on all the intimidating scariness that has been like hinted at with Queen here and there about like the weird like weapons that Queen uses, making like poison attack bombs and all kinds of scary shit, and like that disease that almost killed Luffy before, and all the rest of the people in the prison, and like his mechanical arm's really cool. He hasn't done anything with that yet. Just like I want to see like him versus Frankie, like a slug match of like technology, or I don't know, Queen versus the mech, and then they can battle. That could be cool.
Queen versus that would be a good match because of like the immunity to like weird disease poisons.
Yeah, they're both mechanical men to a degree or whatnot, but it can't be a bullshit fight. It needs to be a real fight with stakes, and it feels that the tide is turning back and forth. And like I want to see Frankie's mech, just like when he fought Senor Pink. Remember when Frankie got fucked up real bad and we saw like his cyborg eye coming out underneath, like his Terminator eye? That's the mark that a fight is like really having impact. We need to feel the stakes. I want to see the mech like literally trashed and like destroyed. Like remember in Gurren Lagann when Luffy was, or when Simone was fighting Lord Genome, like at the end of the first half, when like Lagann is getting trashed and gets like both its arms ripped off and gets completely fucked, and then like Simone comes out and does like the finishing move against him. Like that is a real mech fight with like stakes and like terror and shit like that. And it's we're fighting a fucking Yonko. That's what we need. And so far we haven't gotten that, so it's time to do it. Let's do it, Oda.
It's definitely something that I want to see with all of these characters. They don't necessarily need to, we don't necessarily need to see all of them with all of their fights that they have.
But someone needs that.
But they need to get bloody and beaten, and they need to be very close. They need to get very close to like complete defeat,
to death. Yeah,
and you know, I think one of them should die. I think maybe Jinbei should die. That would be pretty good.
Hey, Oda, if you want to do that, there are cool ways to do it that'll make me like Jinbei more. But I've given up. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I mean, you know, and to be fair, last arc was whole cake, and Oda did that. Katakuri was like the best fight ever. The stakes felt real. So Oda hasn't forgotten how to do fights like that. If anything, he's gotten a little bit better, at least at times. It's just that the story's so crowded with all this other stuff. But we can't lose those. That's what we're really here for. So yeah, do it, Oda. And I think that he will. I do have faith.
Yes.
Katakuri looms large in my mind.
This was a great chapter. Like, even regardless of there not literally being a fight yet. It's just this cool moments, like, back to back. It's great. It can't go so terribly wrong. I feel like if you hate Wano after this, it's because you were waiting for a very specific thing to happen and it just didn't happen. But like the ride will be fun regardless, I think.
Chapters like this can be a little bit frustrating for people reading week to week. But 10 years from now, when you reread Wano and you get to this chapter, you won't be annoyed. I mean, those people who are, I'm not. Like, am I very eager to see what happens next? Because this is kind of a connector chapter. Some cool things happen, but really we're kind of setting up for what's going to happen next, and we're establishing some stuff.
I mean, in a way, like every chapter is a connector chapter. Like,
I agree. I agree.
Like, this is like putting all of the Straw Hats in one place. Like, things happen that aren't going to, directly result in other things. I mean, that's just serialized anything, but yeah.
We just as soon as possible, we're all eager to get some gritty, real shonen battle shit going on, I think. And I'm waiting for it. And don't get distracted by all the characters. Eventually we need some people to pair up and have real one-on-one fights. I mean, at least one person.
Oh,
actually, at least two. Luffy and Zoro. Actually, Luffy could fight with Kid and everyone. They could have a group battle against Kaido.
Oh,
Zoro
yeah,
needs a swordsman fight. Let's not forget that. I don't even care about them, but they can just fight with Luffy. That's fine. That's fine.
There's a lot of characters that just didn't appear in this chapter. It's funny how there's so much.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
You're right. You're right.
Anyway,
right. We'll get all to that in the future. All these characters are out doing something. It'll matter eventually, I'm sure. But for now, this is all we've got. Nothing more to speculate on in the meantime. So we'll see you next week. It doesn't say skipping a chapter, so presumably next week it'll be back, and we'll talk about it. And won't that be fun for all of us together on the Podcast? So if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/thepodcast. Pirates? No. Yes. Patreon.com/thepodcast pirates, I think. Regardless, there's a link in the description that you can click to support the show for the best One Piece discussions in the game. There's a Twitter @PodcastPirates that you can also follow where we tweet things. I think that's it.
Oh,
anything else I'm missing?
I got a thing to announce. I did mention before that I was streaming my own comic that I've been making for the Tezuka Awards. I have submitted it to the Tezuka Awards. It is in.
Fantastic.
And it is finished and it is good. And you can go read it. I mean, it's on Medibang. I can get a link, but you got to pay for the full thing. I'm going to make it free once I've finished Chapter 2, and then I'm going to put it on giveandtake.site. But if you want to read it early, you can read it on medibang.com. And it's what I did. I made a manga.
Fantastic.
You can buy for
when
420
you're done with a
yen.
manga. Oh, excellent. When you're done with this manga, go read the other manga by one of the people here talking about it. Isn't that exciting, everybody? Congrats, Gib. Great job, I assume. I didn't see the end. I'm assuming it's good.
I mean, once I finish Chapter 2, it will be good. I've written a really cool, epic ending.
I hope it's as good as the ending where Jinbei joins the Straw Hats. Let's hope
that's
that it can
exactly
hold a
what
candle
happens.
to that.
Is that Jinbei joins Clarissa in being like a cowboy duo.
Now that's a happy ending if I've ever heard one. All right, we'll see you next week, everybody. See you soon. Give us money. Oh, and of course, for any discussion, be a patron or just join as a foolish white plebe, the Pod D Discord. Link down below. Talk about One Piece with other people. Have a good time. That's it. See you next week. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.